Hi, I'm Lucie Hemmen, and I'm a clinical psychologist specializing in teen girls. Today I have my own teen with me, and we're going to talk about topics that often come up in my private practice office, and hopefully we'll generate some ideas for you to use with your teen daughters. Marley?
My name is Marley Hemmen. I'm 19 years old, so I'm just finishing up my teen years. My sister is 15 years old, so that also gives me another perspective on the whole teen ageness, and I feel like I have a lot to say about it.
A big topic for parents when their kids become teens is communication, because often when kids are little, you chat nonstop and you tell us everything and you think that we're fabulous and wonderful to be with. And then they become teenagers and they don't think we're as fabulous. We're kind of embarrassing, and it's very developmentally appropriate for teens to want to talk more to their peer groups than their parents. That being said, I do think that there are moments where teens really do want to talk to their parents, and a wise parent allows for that opportunistic connection by being a good listener, and also maybe by steering away from teaching moments and really encouraging open lines of communication. So I think that there's a lot of do's and don'ts for parents of teens, and I'm doing a don't right now. I'm talking too long. I think usually you like me to be very short and concise and talk very little and listen way more, like 90% listening, 10% talking. Would that
Not
be?
that I don't want you to talk, it's just I remember being younger and feeling like every conversation could possibly turn into a huge deal. Like you would avoid communicating with your parent because then they're going to remind you of the chores you have to do, or they're going to tell you that you need to do something. The possibilities that they're going to blossom into something that's just going to not be fun for you or give you a headache are much higher the more conversations you have. And I've definitely heard that from my friends. Like, I just don't want to talk to her because then she's going to nag me about something or something like that.
It's so true, because you guys are not home a lot, and so it's really tempting when we see you to jump on you and tell you, did you text your grandmother?
And we can feel that. We can feel the whole I'm home now. She can just attack at any time.
Yes. You prefer to be a moving target, and So it's not that you don't want to hear us talk, it's just you don't want to hear what we have to say?
It's that, I don't know, it's just a little scary sometimes. I think there's definitely good ways to have communication without going overboard, because I think some parents do feel like we're not home a lot, or we have homework, sports, school, all this, friends, all the other stuff going on. So the feeling of when your parent, you can kind of tell when your parent sees an opportunity to kind of sneak in there and steal some of your time. And I think that's what kind of gets overwhelming. But keeping things short and sweet, and maybe you go to dinner, or you'll make dinner, or you'll do something, have a little time one-on-one is good when you're not distracted by everything else, because there's a lot going on at one time and you don't want to kind of just be stolen into a big ordeal with the parent.
Do you think that there are any other tips that parents can do? I know there's a couple that I figured out along the way, and one of them was that when you were confiding in me, which you didn't do a lot, you weren't a big confider, that when you did confide, I needed to be very quiet, not ask too many questions, and also not even make a lot of eye contact with you. So I would kind of look to the side so I didn't look too excited or interested, which I think triggers an intrusion sort of experience for a lot of teens.
I was just a very private person, and I think when you can tell that your parent is respecting your privacy and that you have kind of your own stuff going on, then it becomes your responsibility, and when you want to tell them, you have the option to tell them. It's not like they're going to pull it out of you. So I definitely feel like you knew that I was a private person. I didn't want to talk about all my dramas and stuff going on. So that made me know that when I wanted to tell, you made it obvious that when I wanted to talk about stuff, I could. So I knew I could always reach out to you. It just was on my time. And I think when I'm ready, and then you would know that that was the time I needed to talk, then that worked out a lot better than just kind of you maybe trying to get it out of me. And a lot of parents are kind of like, my kid's not talking to me, I need to get it out of them. There's nothing to get out of us. Like, we will talk when we are comfortable and want to and have something to say.
Right. Right. I know parents of teen girls in my office often feel really hurt and rejected. And I try to help them understand that it's part of your healthy development to pull away and to start separating.
Because it makes us feel independent if we're not, you feel like you're in 5th grade if you have to go home and tell your mom everything that happened that day. And kids pay attention to how much their friends talk to their moms. I remember that very, very vividly. Like, different people kind of almost judging, like, oh, she told her mom about this, she told her mom about this. And it's something that is so silly now that I look back on it, but it is something that I don't think parents really would ever think that is going on kind of behind the scenes in a social situation at school or anything else.
It adds a whole new layer, because now not only do you have possible social drama with other teen girls, but their parents, their mothers are involved. And it can really be hard for moms not to get overly emotionally affected by the ups and downs of their teen daughters.
Yeah. And just judgment coming from parents. I remember you'd never judge me about my friends. And I, like, if I had a friend that was kind of, just, you would always kind of not judge my friends or something like that. And that meant I could talk to you if there was something going on. I knew you wouldn't pass judgment on someone I was hanging out with or something. I don't know how to explain it really, but I knew that you weren't going to say, like, oh, don't hang out with that person or
I learned that along the way. I think I learned that from teen clients, that they would say if the parent used personal information against them, that they would shut down and really cut the parent off. So I think that I tried to do that. And sometimes that's really hard for parents, because you hear what people are up to and it's kind of alarming. But you think it's important to kind of...
If you think that something you say to your mom is going to come back to bite you in 2 weeks, you're not going to feel comfortable going and talking about something. If you feel it might get thrown back at you, or it might get twisted, or maybe something like that. I think that's another big reason why it's easier just to not say anything.